Welcome to Treetorials with Heather's Bricks. Treetorials are a series of Lego tree tutorial videos that I will be creating. Which trees, you may ask? Whichever trees you suggest. Whatever you want to see, just post down below and I will try to create a video for you. I use many different kinds of trees in my Lego city. I think it creates more of a natural scene throughout the city this way. Let's get started on a simple tree that I get asked often about. This tree here is what we're going to build today. I get asked very often about this tree. This specific tree lines my main street in my Lego city, and it creates a forest-like backdrop in my Lego amusement park. With this tree that I will build today, I just make it larger for my amusement park and for my forest area. You'll notice here that I have a couple variations with the different leaf colors. This one's just all solid green, regular green. This one here has some of the darker green leaves in it. Here is the leaf type I'll be using in our tree today. This one with the darker leaves makes it seem kind of like an older tree with some newer parts growing. I do also use a bright green occasionally in my trees. This would be more of a new growth or a spring tree if I add it in with the regular green leaves. And then of course there's the darker green, which makes for an older tree, and it just creates more depth and variation within your trees. So try using all of them, but today we're going to stick with one color, and we're just going to stick with the main green color. I'm going to start you off with a parts list today. The first thing I start with is a base plate, and I am going to use for the tree, I'm just going to use a 4x4 green plate. Next, I use 12 round 2x2 reddish brown bricks. That's 12 of those. Another part you'll need is one 2x2 modified round plate in reddish brown as well. We'll be using 15 of these large green leaves, 15 of those. And then there are some optional parts. If you don't have them, you can still build the tree, but I will be using today one reddish brown bar or lightsaber piece, as some call it, one reddish brown flagpole bar, as some call it. Not exactly sure their technical names. And last but not least, I am going to be adding one small green leaf to the very top of the tree, and you'll see that. It's kind of a new addition for me. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to move these parts out of the way. Now, the first thing you do is, of course, you can start with your base and your trunk. And you'll take your base, and you want to take 7, and I just use 7. You can use 9, you can use 5, depending on the height you want your tree. If you want to build a forest tree, you can make it even taller. But I'm using 7 today of these 2x2 round reddish bricks, and you're just going to stack them together. I've already done that. Stack it together and you can put it on your base. I just like to start with a base so that my tree doesn't really fall over if I'm going to add something or if I have to stop for a while. Sometimes I put the base in the city. Sometimes you can build a little flower box or a stand around it. And other times, if you see in my Lego city, I just put the trunk right into the cement. Maybe I should work on that. But for now, we're going to put this on a base. The next part, you're going to need the modified 2x2 round plate and 4 green leaves. You're going to start by adding the leaves to these pegs that stick up. And I'm going to use one of the bottom sides of the leaf. When I add them, I like to use these bottom corners. I don't know why I call them the bottom, but this just seems like the bottom of the leaf to me. I am going to make sure that pushing them down onto these pegs, using the same side leaf each time as you go around. Oops, that wasn't right. You can tell it kind of looks funny if you get it on there. Then this way, they seem to be all going in the same direction, like this. They're all kind of making that circular motion like they're moving around or something. This is the first step, or the bottom of the tree. So I'm going to actually add it on here to that trunk. It's a good sturdy connection, no problems with it whatsoever. Now, the next part, to add a little bit of height, I'm going to add another 2x2 round brick just to the top of this modified plate right here. Just snap that in. Now, for our next part, I am going to take one large green leaf and I'm going to take a bar. This is the optional part. If you don't have a bar, this works just fine. You can use the center of this leaf in the back and you can attach it directly to this hole like this. I only use the bars because it makes the tree much sturdier when I move them around. So I'm going to place the bar halfway through this green leaf like so, and then I'm going to insert it into the top of this. And now it actually fixes right down inside there, and the bar, it makes it nice and sturdy. The next step is to create another row of leaves, but this time you're going to use a brick like this instead of a modified plate, and you're going to place the leaves directly onto the pegs of the holes. Now, on the bottom of this tree on the base, I started with this side of my leaf. This time I'm going to move to the other edge so that they go to a different variation around the tree. You'll notice it as we put this on there. So I have this finished already. Once you have all 4 of those on there, you want to add another 2x2 round brick to the top of that. It creates a good sturdy section right there. And you can notice that all of the leaves go around in the opposite direction. I'm going to slide this bar remaining on the stump right now into these bricks as seen. Let's go ahead and insert that right here. Now you can tell, you can turn it around how you like. You can tell that I kind of have like a doors and windows kind of option here now, where my leaves are facing a different way, they go around a different way. It just gives a better variation for the tree. So this is where we are so far. The next step is to add another single leaf here. This time I am not going to use a bar, and I will explain that in a moment. But I am actually going to take my leaf, just like I said before, and I'm just going to place the center stud right there on the large leaf onto the hole right here in the middle of the 2x2 round. All right, just like so. Next, it's time to build another layer of branches. This time I'm going back and making the leaves go in the direction that the bottom section of branches went. So I attached them to a 2x2 round in this way. You can also, if you'd like, add the 2x2 to the top of this before placing it onto the trunk. Make sure it snaps in firmly. Now I go ahead and add that to that single leaf at the top. It's a little bit unstable, but the reason I don't add a bar is because we are almost finished with this tree. So this is where I'm going to add the optional flagpole. It's going to create a little bit of height here for me, for my tree, and I'm going to try to slide it down in to, well, so you can see how it's kind of wobbly without. I'm going to go ahead and put this in here first. I'm just going to push it down firmly. And you can see that the top of the flagpole here just sticks up a little bit, which is what we need for the next step. And then the bottom of the flagpole will go through the top of this, which was missing a bar. That slid in much easier than before. All right, so now the last part of building our tree is going to be adding one single leaf to the top of the flagpole. I'm going to insert it into the top here. Now you can see I have a little nub sticking up, and that is where you can use your optional small leaf to place on there. And there we have it. Let's take a look at our tree. This is quite a simple technique. It makes your trees much more full. I think it creates lots of life within the Lego city. I like using the modified plate on the bottom because it makes the branches actually stick out a little bit further at the end. Don't forget you can move these leaves around as you'd like because they're really stable now. They're sturdy. You can move them around, make them look more natural, however it is that you would like to see them on your tree. Remember, all trees are different. Change them to suit your liking. Good luck and happy building. Thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss the next Treetorial with Heather's Bricks. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.